Gary Gensler's secrets might be exposed soon. That's right, Coinbase has wanted some communications from Gary Gensler, and the judge says he has some strong feelings about it. So, this might be very bad for our friend Gary. So, Judge Catherine Polk Falia said she would hear from the SEC and Coinbase lawyers on July 15th whether SEC Chair Gary Gensler's private communications on cryptos were fair game. I think Gary Gensler really doesn't want these communications to come through because it would be a devastating roundhouse kick to the face for him. And people would actually see the amount of corruption that was going on. A federal judge overseeing the U.S. SEC Commission case against Coinbase suggested that the cryptocurrency exchange may be unable to inquire into Chair Gary Gensler's private communications before he led the commission. So, what they're insinuating is that there might be some corrupting communications before he became SEC chairman. And Coinbase wants to see those just in case there were some under-the-table deals, from the previous SEC commissioner, Jay Clayton, the one that sued Ripple, or from other forces in either political party that might have wanted to dock crypto. In a July 11th hearing in the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York, Coinbase lawyers argued they should be able to view data on Gensler's personal devices after the SEC provided no explicit assurances on his communication with market makers. Ooh, market maker communications, that could be a lot of corruption there, and that honestly could sway the effect that what he did as SEC commissioner. The SEC's legal team asked Judge Catherine Polk Falia to squash the subpoena into Gensler's personal communications, as the chair was not a fact witness and not an expert witness on the law in the Coinbase case. So they really don't want this dirt to actually be revealed. But I think it would be very interesting to see what actually went on. We were unable to get information from the SEC, said Coinbase lawyers, according to reporting from Intercity Press. The time period before we included because we tried to engage with Mr. Gensler in the SEC, but they've refused to say he didn't use his personal device to communicate about crypto. So, it's his personal device, but if he actually used it to communicate about crypto and his official duties, it should actually be fair game. Of course, the judge said she didn't necessarily agree with Coinbase arguments, but agreed to listen to them. So I think it kind of favors Gary Gensler to hide his communications, but there's a lot of suspicions there. But even if you were to release some of them, that might be very bad for Gary Gensler. And of course, Coinbase is interested because they want to know what people said to Gary Gensler before he became chair, because there could be influences from those people that actually affected what Gary Gensler did as chair. So Coinbase is going to want those communications as fair game, even though they're private communications. And I hope they get them, because I think that would reveal some very juicy information about Gary Gensler and why he acted certain ways after the SEC chairman. So I hope the judge doesn't block it, but it does look like Gensler might actually have the upper hand in this one. This might be one of his only wins as a commissioner for a long time, but I'm really hoping that turns around and some of these communications do actually get released. So today we did get good CPI, but we didn't go up. Why? Because the German government moved thousands of Bitcoin again and sold thousands of Bitcoin. When it was all said and done, they had 9,000 Bitcoins left. They moved 5,000 too much, so the exchange gave it back to them because there wasn't enough liquidity to sell. But the good news is they only have 9K out of 50K left to sell. The bad news, they're probably going to sell all by the end of next week. So next week, I may not expect large upward movements because there's still going to be a large downward sale from the German government, unfortunately. But after next week, we should be in the clear from the German government. However, like I said, there's the Mt. Gox thing, but they're not going to sell all of it. And we don't really know what percentage is actually going to be sold from Mt. Gox. But really looking to the state of Saxony to stop selling Bitcoin. Obviously, there is someone within the German government that hates them doing this, but they can't really do anything about it because there is a law in the books that requires the state of Saxony to actually sell. But I think they are selling way too fast. They've unloaded since the end of June, about 40,000 Bitcoins onto the market. That's more than 10,000 Bitcoins a week. That kind of selling, on a day-by-day basis. Like that probably rounds out to about 1,500 Bitcoins a day, extra pressure selling downward. That can, and like some days, obviously it's piled, stacked on top where they're selling like 6,000 Bitcoins. That kind of pressure can definitely put a dent in Bitcoin price, and that's what it did. I don't even think the Mt. Gox pressure will be quite as bad as the German government because not all those people will sell. They won't sell at the same time. So that's kind of why, like, the CPI, the good CPI report kind of got diluted. We tried to go up, but every time we went up, they just kind of like sold down. I think they sold something like 5,000 Bitcoins today, and the other 5,000 got turned to their wallet. So before they actually sell out completely, I might be a little hesitant just to buy Bitcoin. If you're buying for the long term, I think it's fine. But if you're sniping for a lower price, you might actually want to wait until they finish selling. And I'll have the report when they finish selling. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.